The Easter holidays, of course, and technically all children would, well, normally be off school. Spare a thought for teachers. They are still working, really, and working their socks off, looking after and teaching children of key workers, so there's no rest for the wicked. Let's speak to Mr. Bailey. Hello, Martin.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad at all. Just keeping busy. I enjoyed the sun in the garden over the last week, but still working as well.
Yeah, you're a teacher at Lanchester Primary in County Durham, and your role as the teacher, you also oversee the digital strategy. So that means you're working with the technology elements within the school.
Yeah. So I have the title of Digital Enrichment Leader at Lanchester EP Primary School, and we've got a very well-established social media network at Lanchester. So Twitter's our big platform. So we've been using Twitter for the last 6 or 7 years now. So certainly that's proved to be an invaluable resource for us at these current times. Because I think, yes, we've got the key worker children in school, but it's really important that we keep the whole school community connected. So, via social media, we've been able to see all the things that's happening with the home learning as well. We've been able to set daily challenges on Twitter sort of for the children to do as well. So, the use of social media has been one big thing, but we have like a learning platform. We use something called eSchools, where teachers are still setting work on a daily basis for all children in maths and English and topics. So even though we're not all physically together in the same building anymore, we are still sort of making sure that we can provide as much education as possible for our children at these times.
Now, I must admit, this happened very quickly. Obviously, say a month ago, we had an inkling, the school's going to close, are they not? We're not sure. And at that time, as teachers in a classroom, you were dealing with children who were maybe a little bit anxious because they're seeing stuff on the news that they're not sure what it's all about, particularly in primary, the older children, are we going to do our SATs, are we not? And then for you guys in the staff room, you're trying to juggle classroom learning and trying to think of what will happen if the school's closed. So it must have been a really fraught time.
It was a frantic week, to say the least. I think, I've been in education for 20 years, and speaking to everyone, we'd never known a weaker period ever like it before. But I think what was nice for us, and hopefully for the children as well, is that the bit in the classroom, the bit between 9 o'clock and 3:15 was still quite normal. It felt quite normal, and yes, there was some late nights and long hours and anxious times for staff, preparing for something that was completely unprecedented, as to what was to come, and that transition towards home learning. So, yes, it was a full-on time and continues to be. There's still a lot of changes and policies and everything else that's having to be updated at the moment. But our job as teachers is to keep life as normal as possible for those children in our care. And ultimately, yes, we're trying to provide an education for them still, but actually their happiness, their mental well-being, their support is what is most paramount at this time.
That's what we're hearing more and more. The first week, pupils, younger pupils, and you work within the primary children, they were sort of a bit excited, this is a bit different, a bit excitable. But as time goes on, they're missing their friends, they're missing their structure. They're thinking, we will be having sports day going into summer term. We will be doing lots of fun things going into Easter. So their mental health, we're hearing a lot about that affecting people. How is it affecting the pupils that you're working with and the teachers as well?
Well, I think for the pupils, we try to provide as much structure as we can. We appreciate that obviously that will not always be possible in every household, depending upon working patterns, etc. But we do have a suggested timetable sort of for the day in terms of that activities that children might do at certain times, and people are starting to make their own routines as well. So things like Joe Wicks is becoming very popular. Everybody doing the workout with Joe at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we provide, like I say, sort of each day there are maths, English and topic activities provided by the teacher. So where possible, we try to still give the children that little bit of structure. And at all times we are stressing to parents that, yes, these are just suggested activities, there are things there, but actually you getting to spend some time together as a family, and in amongst all the tough and the challenge and things that's happening in the world, actually, that additional family time is something that's nice, and, parents and other family members being there for the children is what is key at the moment. From a staff point of view, yeah, of course, there's a level of fear of anxiety there. I suppose anyone who's still going out to work at the moment sort of, has that there. But ultimately, teaching has always been a vocation. It's never been a job. And, our function is to be there for the children in our care in whatever way we can. And at the moment, that means being there for them, for the children of the key workers, because I'm sure that children are a little bit scared. They are anxious. They are a little bit confused. They'll be seeing things on the news. They'll be aware of something. They'll know that, mum or dad is a key worker and is going out to work in hospitals or wherever it might be. And I'm sure they do. They might not show it. They're coming into school happy and excited, but, there will be some confused children out there. And so, as teachers, if we can do our bit for the school community, we can do our bit for the country, in this battle against COVID-19, then we just stepped up. That's what we do as teachers in tough and challenging times. We're there for our children above all else. And if that means, putting our own safety at risk a little bit, then we'll do it for our children.
That's good. Great to speak to you. And are you doing Joe Wicks every morning then?
I'm joining in on the days when I'm in school. My staff are as well. That's certainly something. We're not going into school and we're shirts and ties. We're going in and we're tracksuits and joining in with the kids. So yes, school is different for everyone at the moment. But like I say, there's some nice fun things happening too, and it's nice that we've got different groups of children mixing together that wouldn't normally, because we've got from the youngest children to the oldest children all together, and they're experiencing different teachers as well, because the teachers are in on a bit of a rota. We're not in every single day, so for the children, they're not just getting their own class teacher, they're getting to meet other children and other teachers as well in school. So it is tough times, it is challenging times, but in amongst it, there's some fun, exciting things happening too.
It's great to speak to you. Thank you very much, Martin. And just good to speak to you, because I know personally my girls are older. They're in secondary and in college, and the teachers have been just amazing online, giving them quizzes. I was doing a quiz yesterday myself with Mr. Wilkinson. He's the maths teacher normally, but he was a quiz master yesterday online, and all the kids are joining in from all different years. Their families are joining in as well. And I really think that there's a lot going on, and teaching staff really have just come into their own, looking after children, but also a lot of things online as well. So we applaud you. Thank you very much, Martin.
There's wonderful new things happening, and I think we've got to embrace that. If you look back to say World War II and how new technologies evolved on the back of World War II, we're looking both personally and professionally at the minute that people are using things like Zoom and online meetings a lot more.
Yes.
But then in personal life, I've got an 82-year-old father who suddenly discovered FaceTime in the last few weeks, and I'm enjoying there. So hopefully, we will sort of learn from this period, and some positive things will sort of come out of it, and the use of technology within education and within life will be sort of developed as a result of this period. So, we're doing live lessons. I'm using a resource called Learning by Questions, where we're providing some live lessons to our children. And that's obviously something completely new for us, this idea of us being at home and delivering live lessons to the pupils. But we're learning, we're developing all the time using these wonderful resources there. And we made a fun video sort of for the children sort of last week to wish them like a happy Easter, where we passed the toilet roll sort of from one member of staff to another, and eventually made its way back to the head teacher, Mrs. Davis, with a happy Easter message. And that video has been viewed about 2,000 times over the last week, and had response all over the world. I'm busy working with the school in the Midlands now, Birchwood Primary School, who'd seen it, and they've said, can you do something sort of for us? So that message gets passed around, and new people embrace sort of new technologies as they see these things online. And as teachers, we always learn from each other and see the things that other schools are doing.
That's great. And I think the use of technology, as you say, we're using it now. And I think when we get back to the swing of things and the schools reopen, I don't think it'll be the same. I think we'll be using what we've learned now to incorporate it into the classrooms. That's great. Good to speak to you.
Absolute pleasure this morning.
Lovely.
No problem.
Thank you very much, Martin.
Take care now. Bye.
You too. Ta-da.
Bye.
Brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, so I do think that's going to change even the way you work. Do you think when you're able to go back into work, the workplace, it will be the same as when you left it? Possibly not. More and more people are working from home. Is this going to change the business landscape? I wonder. Is it going to change the classroom landscape? I wonder. Maybe a conversation for a little further down the line, but I think it might make a huge difference.